What's going on, family? It's your dear boy DB. It's been a while, and hope everybody's safe and inside and chilling or outside. You can still go outside right now. There ain't the total government shutdown where we can't go outside. But just wanted to share a few things. This is part one of part. Probably gonna end up being 3 to 4 parts. It's about Mammon. What is Mammon? And so we want to go into that. Mammon is regarded as an evil influence or false object of worship and devotion. You see this little symbol looks like a hawk or a bird type symbol. This is off mythology.net. And even in mythology.net, sometimes you can find out what people believe and what spirits they entertain by going to their websites and stuff. So mythology.net says Mammon is a demon, that is a Greek god of wealth. Greed can corrupt an innocent man. He has power to influence the mind and the heart. Mind and heart goes with serving, right? He inspires envy, greed, and lust. He leads to obsession. He monopolizes a person's energy. This is off the this is the information off the mythology.net. He is enslaving. He was enslaving in the Middle Ages and considered a deity, right? They worshipped him, right? Come from the Greek word mammonis, translated to money, wealth, or material possessions. It is an idol of materialism, which can call, which many trusted as and founded as their as a world wealth and philosophy. All right. So Mammon is also spirit of Mammon is also mentioned in Matthew 6:24 and Revelations 18. Mammon is parallel to the Greek god Plutus. Mammon is personified, like I said, in Matthew 6:24 and Luke 6:13. Our thinking about material wealth is our balance when is out of balance when we one envy others' wealth, two anxious over potential unmet needs, three obey Yah's direction about the use of wealth, four fail to trust Yah's faithfulness. Do not store up treasures on earth, store up treasures in heaven. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. Do not store up treasures in heaven. No one can serve two masters. Either you'll be devoted to one and despise the other. Godliness with contentment is great gain. But if we have love, but if we have the love of money, it is the root of all evil. So, but going back to that second point, look at say anxious over potential unmet needs. A lot of that's going to go down today because of the economic, the crashing of the stock market and the coronavirus and different things like that. So it's a very high level of stress, fear, and anxiety, um, and when these different things happen, because we think that Mammon is taking care of us, but it's not really Mammon that's taking care of us. It's Yahuwah that's taking care of us. Even he said the Bible says he reigns on the just and the unjust. So those who don't even worship him, um, he still look out for them. All right, Matthew 6:24. No man can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will hold to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and Mammon. You cannot serve God and Mammon, right? Luke 6:38. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and runneth over, shall men give into your bosom. Men will give into your bosom. Okay? For the same measure that you meet with all, it shall be measured to you again. So this is that seed time, harvest time that's in the earth that God gave us with the spirit of reciprocity, right? No, again, it says in Luke 16:13, no servant can serve two masters, for either he will hate one and love the other, or he will hold to one and despise the other. Okay? So it's crazy how Mammon is portrayed or is a deity, and Mammon, you can serve Mammon. Revelation 18, and after these things I saw an angel come down from heaven having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and become a habitant of devils, and the whole of every foul spirit, and caged and unclean and hateful bird. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, yet for that ye may not be partakers of her sin, and that ye receive not her plagues. For her sins have reached into heaven, and God have remembered her iniquities. So he wants us to not worship the beast, his system. The love of money is the root of all evil. He said, Come out from among them. Come out from among them. Not saying that we cannot spend money, but we cannot be so caught up in the matrix and this beast system that we don't that our time, talents, and treasure is not um, embraced by the things of Yahweh and the things that Yahweh want us to do. Okay, all right, let's go to the next. Second, oh, I'm sorry, not second. First Timothy 6 through 10. The love of money is the root of all evil. So we hear this scripture a lot. The love of money is the root of all evil. And we hear Luke 16:13. No man can serve two masters. Either he will hate one and love the other, or else he will be loyal to one and despise the other. You cannot serve God and mammon. So the question a lot of people ask, and even I talked to my son about this, why do pastors and churches ask for it if it's evil? But here's the main thing: the love of it, the worship of it is the root of all evil. God don't want no idol put before him. So you can love and worship anything, right? It don't have to be money, right? If I love and worship my car, it just becomes an idol. I love and worship my shoe collection. I love and worship my wife, my side chick, my husband, my side dude, my whatever. You get what I'm saying? You can worship yourself. You can worship an athlete. You can love and worship that. And God said, Put no idols before me, because from him will all blessings come from, and all blessings flow. So the love of it, the worship of it, if you're putting it before Yahweh, it's evil. It's an evil work. Okay? Whosoever loves money never has enough. Whosoever loves wealth is never satisfied with the income. You'll never be satisfied. It won't fulfill. You're thinking that you like the hamster. I don't know if you've seen the hamster on one of the treadwheels, and he just keep running and running. No matter how fast or how slow he run, he's still going in one place. He will never fulfill him. And that was in Ecclesiastes 5:10. Whosoever love money will never have enough. Whosoever love wealth is never satisfied with their income. The lust is insatiable. You will never fulfill it. Okay? Luke 16:14 through 15. You are the ones who justify yourselves in the eyes of others, but God knows your heart. What people value highly is detestable in the sight of God most of the times, okay? And the rich fool, I'm going to read that in the next time, but you can look at it prior to that. Luke 12 and 13 through 21, okay? Um, Mark 4:19. Um, the love of riches chokes the word out, um, and you become unfruitful. Okay, and Luke 4 is when the devil Lucifer took Yahusha up to the mountaintop, and he had a covenant with um, he took him up to the mountaintop and said, "See this? All the kingdoms of this world, they will give it to me. If you bow down and worship me, I'll give them to you." And he said, "Man shall not live by bread alone, but by every word that come out of the mouth of your Yahweh." All right, okay. So, but then when God bless, He can bless you with money. It's a tool, right? Proverbs 10:22 said, "The blessing of the Lord maketh rich, and addeth no sorrow." So there's a difference. So there is a law of reciprocity. Um, so the reason he got seed time, harvest time in the earth, and he got the law of reciprocity, is and God say he owned the cattle on 1,000 hills. People be like, well, if he's so rich and he owned the cattle on 1,000 hills, and he's the king of all kings, and he owned it, why do you need my money? It's to get you to give it so you can be blessed, right? You need something in your hand in order to start the law of seed time and harvest time in your hand. But you just give me, my name is Jimmy, or I don't need it because I got it, or I need it so I can't give it up. It breaks up that fallow ground with that. So you give it and you sow, knowing that Yahweh gonna bless you. Oh, excuse me, sorry guys. Yahweh was going to bless you. So that's the reason why they had to give, and it shall be given unto you. Because it takes faith to give. It takes worship to give away something that's so dear to us and near to us, right? I'm gonna read that second, 1 Timothy 6:10 over. But godliness with contentment is great gain. For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out. And having food and raiment, let us therefore be content. But they that will be rich will fall into temptations and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drown men in destruction and perdition. For the love of money is the root of all evil, which while some covet after, covet means to want, lust after. They will have erring from the faith and pierce themselves through the many sorrows. All right. So this is the scripture what that Luke 4:5. The devil taking Yahusha, it says him, but it's Yahusha, up to a high mountain, showing him all the kingdoms of the world in the moment of time. And the devil said to him, all this power I will give unto thee, and the glory of them, for that is delivered unto me, and whosoever I will, I give it to it. Right? If thou will worship me, all shall be yours. So the enemy uh, sits in the second heaven, principalities, powers, spiritual rulers in dark places, the watchers, the 200 angels plus Lucifer, the ones that fell. Um, they sit in the second heaven. They're not allowed access to the third heaven no more. If thou will worship me, all shall be thine. And Yahusha, Jesus, answered and said unto him, get thee behind me, Satan, for it is written, thou shalt worship the Lord thy God, and him only shalt thou serve. Okay. 2 John 2, all right. Third John 2 and 2, it said, beloved, I wish above all things that they might prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospers. So it is Yahusha's um, desire that we prosper financially and be in good health, not laid up somewhere sick with the coronavirus or whatever, and even as our soul prosper. A prosperous soul is being washed with the water of the word in our hearts, our minds, our spirits, our emotions. We being that's a prosperous soul, the one that can be content in who Yahusha is. You know what I'm saying? He is our reward, and he is inexhaustible. And so he said, come and learn of me. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. He said, the meek shall inherit the earth. You don't have to get in the tank and go shoot and kill somebody to get their land. He said, the meek shall inherit the earth. If you're a part of my kingdom, I give it to you. You don't have to covet somebody else's stuff, but be content and know that this earth is not your home. You're here for a quick second and then you're gone. And so he's saying, with food and raiment, be content, right? Knowing that the good shepherd will take care of you, the good father, Yahusha. He will take care of you, all right? And also in Philippians 2:13, for it is God which worketh in you both and will and do his will and good pleasure. So it is Yah who's working in you to do his good pleasure, right? Every man, okay, no, I'm going to read that one. And basically in first James 1:17, every good and perfect gift is from above and coming down from the Father of lights. That's Yahweh, with whom is no variableness, neither shadow or turning. All right. And so that was an interesting question. That's a good question, though. For him to say, love of money is the root of all evil, and then pass a collection plate around, right? And some people who don't walk in boldness and power, they do covet the money, right? And you say, well, you're gonna hook a crook and do all these different things for the money. You have your reward, right? But we use money as a currency to flow to preach the word, to keep the lights on at the churches, or even times like now, like some churches got the pantries, some churches got soup kitchens and stuff like that. They use that, so it's just a bless. You're blessed to be a blessing. So you give to the work of Yahweh, right? They go out and buy potatoes, rice, or whatever, or Pampers for those who are hurting, and then you turn around and uh, then then they getting blessed off of that, right? So you donated your money, and Yahweh will come back and return bless you in the areas that you need in. And it might come back, but you can't. If you think about seed time, harvest time, when we used to have our garden, whatever seed that we put out, we would always get more than that seed that we put out, right? You yield more crop, but you got to have the seed in your hand. You don't eat the seed. You put the seed in the ground. The Bible says, except for a corn of wheat, uh, and it says corn of wheat too, uh, abide it alone, but it fall into the ground and die, it bringeth forth much fruit, right? It brings forth much fruit when it's planted, when it's watered, when it got sun to it, then it brings forth a harvest. All right, so that's the seed time and harvest time that he has in the place. So give and it shall be given unto you, pressed down, shaken together, and run over. And that's Yahweh, what's a good work?
Perfect.